Hey there, Leo. Welcome to reading for the week of December 11th. This week, we're just going to jump right in here. And sorry, these cards just didn't want to come off. But you have this card that says, Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. You have this Bee Spirit that says, sweet results await. So there's like some sort of change going on in the work that you do is what I feel. I've been feeling this for you as well, Leo, that there's a change going on in the work that you do. Yeah, it's almost like it's more inspired, you know? The Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands moves towards his inspiration. He does things that he is inspired to do. Just that simple. And the Ace of Wands, to me, is a card of inspiration. It's like the spark of inspiration. You know, really, it's kind of like the seed going down into the soil. And it is that spark of life, that spark of hope, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, I feel that for a lot of you, where there could be like some sort of something that gives you hope at this time. Maybe you've been feeling hopeless as well, is what I'm getting. But I kind of feel like I wouldn't really call this a turnaround or anything like that. Like, it's not like, you know, it doesn't give me the feelings of a turnaround, if that makes sense. It just gives me more the feelings of like an opportunity, or, you know, kind of like the feelings of getting some sort of good opportunity. This could also just be an upgrade to something that you already have in your life, is kind of what I'm getting. Like, you know, if you want more money, you could be getting a raise or a promotion at work. If you have a business, you could be increasing it. If you have a relationship, you could be, you know, doing something to improve it. But it, you know, again, I kind of see these first. Well, we'll start here as well. It's like I kind of see this as you being inspired. You know, the spider is about like weaving a web. You know, it's about a story that you tell, or, you know, something. You know, kind of like the words that you are getting or receiving in life. And so I feel for a lot of you that you could be, you know, it's like you need to watch your words, right? And you need to tell a positive story. I also feel that, you know, there are sweet results if you put the work in. And I also feel that you need to follow your inspiration. It's like you're feeling inspired to do something, or you're feeling inspired to make a change. And, you know, the Ace of Wands is my favorite card in the tarot. So, because again, I think that it's just that one thing that we need to help us move forward, to get us moving towards the right goal, wish, or dream. And then you go over to the Two of Wands. He's grabbing on to one wand, kind of like the Ace of Wands. There's something behind him that is complete, and he's reaching forward to something new. And with the Queen of Swords here, it's almost like you are becoming clear on the fact that there's like part of your story that you just no longer have to have any longer. You know, and it's right here, Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. And so I feel like there's something that always happens in your life. And, you know, it's kind of like now is your chance to end that story once and for all. Really super powerful reading, and I really feel that's like the only thing this reading is talking about, plain and simple. I feel it's just saying that you, for once and for all, have the opportunity to end a you know, some sort of challenging situation that you've been experiencing in your life. For some of you, I feel you have 0 money cards here, and that's exactly why I feel that this is a financial challenge that you've been dealing with. Like maybe something always happens with your finances, and maybe that has been the story for like 20 years or longer or something. And so, you know, you could be changing that story. Could be changing your love story as well, because we have a lot of love here. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords says you've been heartbroken in the past. I kind of feel like you, again, some of you could definitely be changing your love story here. Even the Temperance card, turning a positive or turning a negative into a positive, right? So, you know, with Temperance, we can turn a positive into a negative. We can turn a negative into a positive, you know, whatever floats your boat. But, you know, again, it's like you could be creating a turnaround by taking advantage of like a good new opportunity. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Hangman. A lot of Hangman energy right now. I think a lot of us have been waiting and wanting changes. Again, Neptune going direct finally soon in Pisces, and I think that's going to be great because, you know, Neptune is like the big crazy ideas and, you know, the crazy ass Pisces dreams that we all have. And, you know, with Neptune, I always say it's like, you know, yeah, like now is the time where if there was ever a time where we could manifest some crazy ass idea that we have, it would be right now. But with Saturn there, and just even if Saturn wasn't there, I would say you're going to have to put in the work. It's like you're not going to just magically, you know, manifest your wildest dreams, but you have that card that says sweet results await. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles here. It's like no longer, it's like I feel like you have learned that there are situations that you can enter into that just work. Where it's like there will always be work, like in love, for example. You're always going to have to work towards something and work on something in relationships. But I think a lot of us, we get into relationships with people who need fixing or who need, who need something, whatever that is, right? And that's the problem, right? It's like instead of getting into those situations, right? It's like there are people who are ready right now. And yes, you're going to have to put in the work to find them. But if you do, then it's like there's nothing, it's like you're starting from a much better place, when you find a person like that. And the other thing is to find that person, you have to be that person as well. So it's like if there are things you need to heal, fix, change, whatever, I would get working on it, especially right now this year. I think that this year, 2024 is what I'm talking about. I know we're not in 2024 yet, but I think 2024 is a really good year for kind of like working on yourself. And you literally have this first house card, which is you. The first house is you. You have this talisman card. It says you're destined to succeed. You have this knight. It says triumph over adversity. You have this. You have the chariot as well, which would really kind of represent charging forward on something or kind of overcoming something. But I do feel there's a lot of success coming in for you here. It's kind of like, I do get this energy, it's kind of weird. I get this energy of like a blessing in disguise, but it's not, like, I don't know how to say this, it's like maybe something recently happened to you where it's like you had to make a change in your life or you had to do something, like maybe you had to go get a new job or something like that is popping into my head. But it's like through that, it's like maybe you meet the love of your life because of something that happened, right? And that's just one example. I think there's a million that you could possibly think of. But like if something happened to you where you have had to make a change that's less than comfortable, let's put it that way, it's like I feel like that change is leading to something much greater. So it's almost like there is a blessing in the curse, even though it's not really a curse. That's not what I'm saying. It's like whatever change you've had to make is leading to something great in your life. You have the Six of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the High Priestess. I do feel like there could be a very childlike connection coming in for you. Could be any sign. I'm not really picking up on like one sign or the other here, whatever you're into. And I feel that but what I do feel is, again, I feel like the two of you really bring out each other's like inner child with the Six of Cups. So like a very playful connection. If you are in a relationship right now, I feel like it is going to, just looking around at all this, I feel like it is going to become more playful, in a good way, more lighthearted, more carefree. And, I think it's just I'm just not really getting much here other than just a good vibe, right? Let's put it that way. So there's like good vibes coming in for you. You have the Ace of Cups, which is your emotions overflowing. Again, if you do want love, I feel that this could definitely, going this way, could be an offer of love. It could be a person who like lives at a distance. You have Two of Wands, the Chariot. But, this right here would tell me that it's either like it's a person who's moving to like where you live, or maybe you're moving. So I think it's literally saying at this moment right now, they're at a distance, but they're about to not be at a distance. So, I wouldn't really say this is a long distance relationship. I just kind of feel like maybe you haven't met this person yet, but the other thing I want to say is that it could, like, I keep getting something about work. So if you're getting a new job, like that could be the move. Like, I know that's not literally a move, but you have moved jobs, right? But it could be them. Maybe they get a job where you work, so, there's a million things that could go on here. And I think you're just kind of like meeting a person through some sort of transition. You have the High Priestess, very intuitive time, and so I definitely feel like you have three. It could be a Pisces as well. You have three Pisces cards here. The Moon at the bottom of this deck, but I also feel just talking about like we are in a very intuitive time, so you have to trust your intuition. With the Six of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands and the King of Cups. Definitely could be a water sign. Regardless, you have the Ace of Wands twice here. And so the Ace of Wands is something very, I kind of feel like it's something very hopeful. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new as well. So, there could be there's clearly a new opportunity coming in for you because you go Two of Wands to the Death card. And, the Death card is coming up in the area of the good stuff. So it's like one way of living is coming to an end and you're stepping into a new way of living. Again, I think that the people that are going to have a really hard time moving forward, and this goes for everybody, not just Leo, every single sign, I believe the people that are going to have a hard time are the ones who have a hard time with change. Like, if you've been doing something for a long period of time, and not a criticism, by the way, I just think it's something we have to work through, right? So that's why I'm telling you this. With that death card, it's like maybe you've been doing something for a long time, and we all get set in our ways. Like, it's not like none of us are immune to getting stuck in routines and things like that, right? But I feel like this is saying that you've been doing something for so long that you could be fearing the future, and it's like you're trying to hold on to something that's dead with that death card, like an old job, an old way of working or whatever. But there could be like bright new opportunities that exist, and you have to be open to those opportunities to find them. With the Ace of Cups, you've attracted this like perfect mate into your life, is what I'm getting. If you want love, I feel like you are literally attracting the perfect person. But like I said, it's like you have to be that person first. But maybe you are. Maybe that's what it's saying. It's like you're attracting them because you have become that perfect person. Nothing's perfect, but you catch my drift. With the High Priestess, you have the Chariot. Someone is charging in here. This is very quick movement, having the Chariot twice. The Chariot is about setting yourself apart, and I believe that we all need to set ourselves apart right now as well. Like, I think that, not being afraid to be a contrarian, not being afraid to do things in your own way is going to be very beneficial. You have this Moon card, it says Perception on it. You have this First House card, it says Arrival on it. And so this is a change in your perception, literally, number one. Number two, I feel like people are going to be seeing you differently. I'm getting very strong First House energy off that card. And so it's saying to me that, people could be changing their perception of you, or you could be changing people's perception of you by making changes in your life or doing things differently. So, I kind of get that vibe going on here. And it feels really good, plain and simple. You have the Nine of Swords. Again, I feel like you have to get out of your head for sure, Leo. I feel that this is a lot of future fears is what I'm getting. So I feel there's a lot of fear of the future. And it's like both. I think you need to realize that both things are true. Like a couple weeks ago, I saw this video, and I just mentioned it to someone else as well, and I can't find the video. It's going to drive me crazy, and I don't remember what the lady's name was, but she was basically, this lady, she was talking about her business, and she was talking about how, she overcame her fear of money by just saying, like, she just started saying to, like, writing down her thoughts about, like, her fears about how much money she would make and all this other stuff, and she just started saying to herself, like, okay, but the opposite can also be true. So it's like if she was worried that she was going to lose all her money, she would write down another thought where she said, like, yeah, but I could also make a bunch of money if I do this. And she wrote it down to like train her brain to start looking like at this side of the paper, right? I'm paraphrasing here because I can't find the freaking video, but she just trained herself to start looking at the new thought, right? And she says both are true. Both things can happen. It's like, don't sugarcoat it. Yeah, bad things always happen, but also the opposite can also be true. And she just chose to believe the new beliefs. And, I kind of feel that energy here where it's like, yeah, bad things can always happen, but it's like the future hasn't happened yet, and you can still work with what you got right now. You have the Two Wands. Two Wands about taking the lead and taking control. So, he's reaching forward, grabbing this wand, and he's got that whole world in his hands. So I feel for a lot of you that you really could be making things happen, or you need to make things happen. And so the world is a card of accomplishments, of course, and finding success. And so I feel for, that I feel this isn't the world, but the world in his hands, I feel, is you kind of like, accomplishing new heights. I was getting that thing at the beginning of the reading, like once and for all, you're ending something, but I feel it's a very long-term cycle that you've been going through. So again, if you've had a cycle that repeats in your life, again, it could be any cycle, it could be financial, it could be love-wise, could be your health, whatever it is, it's like you're ending it. And I feel you're taking control. The Chariot is a card of hard control in the tarot. The Strength card, your card, is a card of soft control. So it's like you're really taking control of your life is kind of what I feel this row is saying. Like in a good way. It's a good thing. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. Yes, this is a very solid connection. You have the how crazy is that? You have the Ace of Cups twice, Ace of Wands twice. So definitely could be a very passionate connection coming in for you if you are looking for love. With the Two of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about being curious, looking into things that you're interested in. So I kind of feel like curiosity would be very good for you at this time. Like, looking into new ways of doing things, looking into new ideas, stuff like that. Let's see here. With the Chariot, you have the Eight of Pentacles, money. I knew there was something about finances showing up here. I literally said it at the beginning of the reading. I feel that you need to take control of your financial life as well. It's like there are new paths. I don't know why my alarm is going off, but whatever. Let's change that. It's like one of those things where, I feel that there are changes going on in your financial life. I feel for some of you it's a little scary because it's like the future, like I was saying. But I feel like you need to stop, like, if this might not make sense to all of you, but if you know that you are worrying about the future, then I feel like this is saying, well, we don't know the future yet, and it hasn't happened yet, and do what you can with what you got right now. And that will kind of like fix things, or I don't think anything needs to be fixed. I think you just need to believe that you can make changes. You have this fish card. It says abundance and luck on it. You have this dove card. It says peace and serenity on it. I kind of feel like you want peace and serenity. I feel like you're hoping for this success and everything. And I feel like it's coming in for you, but, I feel, again, a lot of you are working on creating a turnaround, which we kind of see right here. Temperance is trying to change his situation. It's a card of transmutation. And this card says that you have the power and the ability to transmute any situation in your life. You have the power to turn things around, but, you have to put in the work to do it. So, I feel a lot of you could be kind of practicing alchemy or, whatever you want to call it to change your situation. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success, of course. So I feel there is success and a victory. You have the Chariot twice, which, this is like 3 cards of a victory coming in for you. I feel that there could be a lot of recognition coming in for you as well. He's on his high horse there, and he could be receiving recognition in his life. And so I feel that for a lot of you. You have the Death card, and the Death card can represent death, of course. So there could be something is dying in your life, and it's showing up in the good stuff. So I feel like this transition is a good thing. It's like something doesn't work the way it used to, and, I kind of feel like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like it's causing you to scramble because, it's like, like I said, there are these fears of the future. There's a change you're trying to make, and I feel like you're trying to end a cycle. I hope this is making sense. It's not really making sense in my head, but it kind of is at the same time. And so I feel like you're like something is dying, like a way that you used to work, or a way that you used to love even, or whatever the case may be. So let's see. With the Temperance card, you have the Emperor. Yep, bossing up. I do feel like there's a need for you to boss up as well. Like there's a need to take control of the situation. So it's like if your job is dying, for example, it's like maybe the writing's on the wall. It's like it hasn't completely died yet, but I feel like the writing is on the wall that the cycle is just going to continue with that Nine of Swords. So it's like saying whatever the cycle is, it's like maybe you have a job and it's like maybe you have seasons where you like make a bunch of money and then you don't, or maybe there are other issues. I feel like the Emperor is saying you have to take control of the situation because there are things you can do to make things better. With the Six of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you for sure. This is like a solid relationship here. I'm telling you right now, if you're attracting a person, this could be your person. I'm pretty sure your last reading I did for you as well was really good for love. So, definitely a very solid love connection. With the Death card, you have the World. The World, it's crazy that I said that. That I said the World with the Two of Wands up here, and you have the World. So the World is a card of accomplishments. It's a card of achieving things. It is also a card of transition because the World is a portal card. There's normally a lady in the portal, but it's the last card in the major arcana, and so the card itself kind of says, that you're about to start over. So the World, in the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again at the Fool. And that's what I get here. And it's funny that I also said something about being a contrarian, because the Fool is the contrarian in the tarot. So it's like you're about to start over. It's like I don't know that you're starting over necessarily. Again, take it how it resonates. Some of you are starting over. Others of you, I feel like you're just telling a new story, or you're changing the way that you work, or you're changing the way that you do things in life. And this is going to be very good for you here, Leo. I'm telling you right now. We're going to pull 5 main themes. Yeah, you have the World card again, basically. This control card, it kind of looks like the World, and I've been saying control this whole entire time. It's like you have control to change your reality, but I feel like you have to maybe put in some work to figure out what that means, or like what you have to put in some work to figure out like what to do. You have this Idealism card. I would be careful. You could be attracting Aquarius, by the way, or someone with Aquarius in their chart, but, I would be careful of thinking that things have to be perfect or, whatever here with that card. Next, you have this Affair card. Really good card. This is not a bad card. This is not like a cheating affair. It is like love. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be attracting a very solid love connection and something that lasts for a very long time as well. So, love it. Next, you have this Resistance card. I feel like you need to push through some resistance. Not knowing what to do is what's popping into my head. So it's like if you're saying to yourself, I don't know what my next step should be, well, you actually do. The other thing is you could easily go research a next step, right? You could look for some answers in whatever it is you're trying to do and do it. But, resistance means you're very close to your goal. So I feel like you have to push forward here. You have this detachment card. Yeah, I really feel you have to detach from outcomes as well. Like, again, with that Nine of Swords, I get this like fear of the future. And, again, I don't think this is bad or good necessarily. I think it's just like something that needs to be worked on. It's like if you're too attached to the outcomes or future outcomes, I feel this is going to cause a lot of problems for you. And it's like focusing on the wrong things as well. It's like I really feel this reading is encouraging you to focus on yourself, to focus on the things that you want to create, what the things that you want to do. And if you don't know what the answer to that is, then I feel like you need to go look for it. Again, we have to look for the things that make us happy. And, no one has ever told us that, right? It's like no one tells us, like, oh, you have to make yourself happy. You have to go do these things. Society tells us, oh, you have to go buy a Ferrari and that will make you happy, right? So it's like no one tells us that we have to actually go make ourselves happy. We have to do things that do that. And, I think that's kind of like the gist of this reading is that there are things that can greatly improve the quality of your life. But you do have to go research how to find those things or, what even those things are. Pretty interesting reading for sure, but looks good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.